Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I am wonderful. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope your weekend is going great. Mine is going good. I wanted to talk about this earlier, but y'all know I'm busy. I got things to do. But we're here now, and I want to give my opinion on Kanye and Candace's shirt spectacle. And afterward, I'm going to get into a little mess and address some of the feedback I got on my last video from all of these butthurt barbs and Barty Gang members, as well as some of these colorist bird vesters on YouTube. But I know some of y'all, you don't like the drama. You don't want to hear that. Okay. You just want to hear about what's in the title. So I am going to give y'all what you came here for first. Is that cool with y'all? Okay. So, now Candace and Kanye. These two people, y'all, let's just keep it real. They love to troll, they love to get attention. These two people thrive in controversy. Their mission is to draw people to them so they can get more money, more support, more follows, um, and just clout, more money for whatever it is they're doing. If I'm not mistaken, Candace, she's trying to run for office at some point. Kanye, he already tried to run for office. And Kanye is just out here down bad. Kanye is down bad and he still wants to matter to white people more than he does. So, of course, these two people, they're going to do these little publicity stunts to pander to white people and all that stuff, right? Candace, she also has some sort of documentary coming out where she's trying to expose the BLM organization. So they need any piece of attention they can get. Kanye, I mean, when's the last time he had a song? Thank you, Themis. Thanks for the super chat. Right, these two, like, it's just, they out here. Look at them. They just look goofy. And then I was like, what has Candace got on? Are those gauchos? I'm just a little bit confused. Does anybody wear gauchos anymore? I don't know. But they just out here looking goofy, right? And look, I listened to Kanye's interview with Tucker Carlson. I listened to Candace responses on her channel. And I don't agree or I don't disagree with everything they say and what they said about Black Lives Matter or the Black community. There are a lot of problems I have with BLM, and I've done videos talking about it. So y'all know how I feel, and y'all know I've agreed with Candace on some things, and I listened to what Kanye had to say. Not all of it was incoherent, and he made some good points, but because they're so trollish and performative and goofy, I can't take either of them seriously. And to be honest, I don't care enough to go into some deep racial analysis about the shirt itself. All the hoteps are doing that. We all know why it's problematic. We don't need to get into that. I am more interested in discussing the response from Black people, and more specifically, the response from Black women. As always, y'all know that's what I'm always interested in, right? The responses, the reactions. So, based on what I'm saying, these sweatshirts, okay, or this sweatshirt, um, is what it finally took for Black people and Black women specifically to finally cancel Kanye. And y'all never really rocked with Candace, so she's already on the shit list, right? She married a white man, so y'all don't like Candace. She married a white man, and she be out here, buck dancing, as the hoteps call it, right? So she's already on the shit list, but Kanye is officially on that list now. And we know that canceling rarely ever works. Kanye might do something a few months from now, canceling for Black men, okay? Canceling for Black men. It rarely ever works. And he might do something a few months from now to get back in the good graces of Black people, and then it'll be forgiven, right? But it seems like, as of right now, the general consensus among Black people is that Kanye's a coon, and Black people need to write him off. And I have no issue with that. But it's annoying to me that Black women in particular will wait to cancel Black men when they go against the entire community, the entire race, right? Or specifically Black men and Black Lives Matter, which is an organization that focuses pretty much exclusively on the brutality, the police brutality of Black men, right? And so I don't care if y'all are canceling Kanye. I could really care less. But I don't like that Black women feel this is enough to cancel Kanye and Black men like him, as opposed to when these same Black men go against Black women. Because let's be clear, Kanye has never been pro Black woman. Before this, he was okay. He's always pulled these, anti-Black spectacles, but before this, he was already anti-Black woman. Do y'all remember this? Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Do y'all remember this? Do y'all remember when Kanye compared Kim Kardashian to Michelle Obama? And he was bragging about how she was more influential than Michelle Obama. I'm just trying to figure out, why wasn't that enough for y'all to cancel Kanye? And to be honest, when he married a white woman, that should have been the end of Black women's support. It just bothers me that it takes so much for Black women to get to this point with these Black men. Because not too long ago, and I have to call y'all out, not too long ago, and I didn't do a video on it. I don't know if I was busy that week. I don't really know what happened. But I remember Black women, you were defending Kanye because he was online crying about the Kardashians and how they were white supremacists and they're trying to manipulate him and keep him from his quote unquote Black children. Remember that? Y'all was all on the internet. You jumped into mammy mode and you started defending him all over the internet. Do y'all remember that? Even though before I could have sworn he said his kids weren't Black and they were biracial or whatever. I just, Kanye is all over the place. Sometimes I just don't remember what he says. Yeah, he was talking about, yeah, y'all were defending him against Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians. And Candace Owens jumped in there too, trying to get attention. She defended him too. Right? And now y'all canceled him again because he wore a White Lives Matter sweatshirt, or he created one. And listen, I think it's natural for Black women to find this distasteful because it impacts all Black people. Walking around with this shit on, it impacts all of us, including Black women. However, what I'm saying is, we just need to keep that same energy when these men do things that have a negative impact specifically on Black women, and not just Black men, not just Black people as a group. Okay? And of course, here's where, Kanye was saying, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. So, that's why he did it. And nobody's disagreeing with him on BLM, but it's like, dude, it's the spectacle, it's the shenanigans. They're unnecessary. Like, I don't know. But that's what it was done for. It was done for shock value, right? So there were a few Black male celebrities that condemned Kanye. As you can see here, Bootsy, he came out and defended him, or I'm sorry, condemned him. Um, he called him out, and Bootsy was just going on and on Twitter. He was just going off on it. Um, Diddy, he did a video calling him out. He's like, I don't rock with that. Jaden spoke up. I mean, when do you ever hear from these dudes anytime else? Like, when do you, you know? And of course, black women are eating it up. They're praising these men as if any of them actually like black women. you know? And look, I'm not saying black women should come after them for condemning Kanye. That's what they should be doing. But I just want black women to understand the primary reason why black men in particular are speaking out. They're speaking out not because they love black people so much, not because they think all black lives matter. They're speaking out primarily in the defense of black men, who, again, are the primary victims of police brutality. That is what this is about. Black Lives Matter, the organization, has always been an organization that centers black men and the plight of black men. Yeah, black men are pro black male, exactly. And that is the reason. That's the primary reason. I'm not saying it's the only reason, but it's the primary reason that black people are so outraged right now about these sweatshirts. Now, when black women need black men's public support on other issues, where are these men ever at? They're ghosts on social media. They don't come out and say anything. You'll never see Bootsy, Diddy, or Jaden, and whoever else came out, talking shit about Diddy or about Kanye. You'll never see them defending black women when we specifically are either harmed by black men, unalived by black men, or when we are publicly disparaged by black men. Only when they are included in the disparagement, they meaning black men, only then do they speak up. So I just want black women to be mindful of that. And these men, they're just not consistent. 1 minute Kanye is crying about racism, white supremacy. He's making songs about police brutality. He's complaining about white people in Hollywood discriminating against him and his clothing line. I remember when he was on Twitter talking about, Kris Jenner and the Kardashians were white supremacists, but he married and had children with one. They white supremacists, but you married into the family, sir. I mean, come on now. So it's like as soon as you're not getting what you want, because let's be clear, Kanye is having meltdowns all over the internet because he wants to keep his wife. He wants to stay married to Kim Kardashian. Y'all do know what this is about, right? He's upset because she no longer wants to be married to him. And so now it's all white supremacy. Oh my God, my black children. Like, it's just so manipulative. And he's trying to rally up, well, he was trying to rally up black people to fight his battles. No. Black women, you ain't got nothing to do with it. Themis says, also tired of his mom passed. Megan lost her mom and she did not get any grace. She does not do as much as Kanye. That is so true. That is such a good point. Because everybody says that. Oh, he ain't been the same since his mom passed. So that is a great point. Great point. But yeah, you married into a family of white supremacists. This is what you signed up for. This is your bed, so now you got to lay in it. Now, this is not to say that, when you marry non-black people that you don't have the right to highlight racism or white supremacy because, you're still black. You and your family will still experience racism. So I'm not of the mindset that these people, just because they marry non-black people, they can't talk about racism. However, it's a problem when black men like Kanye, who are in interracial unions, use racism to get black women to fight on their behalf as a black man. But they would never do the same in return. Y'all see how black men online talk about black women in interracial relationships? Whenever black women like Serena Williams, that's a big example. Whenever she talks about racism and being treated unfairly in the sports industry, what do they say? Oh, she's on her own. Let white men defend her since that's who she married. Let white zaddy defend her since that's who she married. That's what they tell Serena Williams. But we, black women, we're expected to put on the cape anytime something happens to a black man, regardless of who he's married to. And if we don't, then it's, oh, you hate black men. You're a sellout. You hate black men. And who hurt you? What black man hurt you? All of that shit, right? So, black women, you need to understand the game that's being played on you. It shouldn't have taken this long for you to cancel Kanye. Now, when it comes to Candace Owens, let's get on Candace. Like I said before, I actually agree with a lot of what Candace says. But Candace just does too much. She does too much white ass kissing for me. She does too much trolling for me. And in my opinion, Candace is so smart. She's smart. She's articulate enough not to have to do this. But maybe not, because after all, they, meaning white people, white conservatives, they are rewarding her very handsomely to do what she's doing. So maybe she does have to do this. But you know what's interesting about Candace, and I put it in the title, but before I was thinking of this, before I was thinking of this video when I was doing my outline, I never really quite had the words for it before, but Candace is basically a conservative social justice warrior. And I know y'all hate that term because it's a white supremacist term, but it just fits so well. I just, maybe we can think of another term, but like it just fits so well. It does. I'm sorry, I'm problematic, but it fits well. It fits well. Candace is a conservative SJW. That's what she is. Candace be going hard in the paint. Candace pulled up on Patrisse Cullors to confront her in her upcoming documentary that she's doing to expose Black Lives Matter. Y'all remember when she pulled up? And I believe at the time she was pregnant when she pulled up on Patrisse. And I'm sorry, y'all, but that is typical ghetto SJW behavior. I know y'all mad, but that's what it is. It is. And it's not exclusive to black people. When I say ghetto, non-black people do this ghetto shit too. But this was typical ghetto behavior. Yeah, pulled up on Candy pulled up on Patrisse while she was pregnant. That's what Candy did. And yes, her name is Candy when she ran up on Patrisse. Bitch, that's Candy and them. That's Candy and them pulling up. Don't open the door. Yeah, she's a ghetto conservative. Like, that's some ghetto shit. And you pregnant, Candy. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, Candy. You don't. You don't have to go this far. You don't. And I'm like, what was she planning on getting accomplished? What did she think was gonna happen? I mean, I know it's because the cameras was there, but come on, Candy, no. And granted, I'm sure Candy had protection, but you can't be pulling up on people pregnant like that. Your blood pressure high, it's gonna get high. You're gonna negatively affect the baby. What about the baby? And it was just completely pointless, and it was for shock value. And again, Candace, I mean, she clearly has a bubble of protection around her. So, she does get a lot more out of social justice warring than black women when they're on the front lines for black men. So she's smarter in that regard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not directly comparing her to black women who fight on the front lines for black men. This is not the same. But because she's getting way more in return for any risk that she decides to take while she's pandering to white people. But my point here is that reckless warrior energy and behavior is the same. It's just for a different cause. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what side black women are on, we always got that SJW spirit in us strong. This is why we always feel the need to turn everything into a movement. You get what I'm saying? Right? I like Candace too. I don't dislike her all the way, but I can't totally get behind her because she be doing too much. You just never know when she gonna come out and say something sideways about black women. So I can't fully get behind her. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that SJW spirit in her is very strong, and it's strong in all black women. I told y'all, even I had to recognize that in myself when it came to this platform and what I do online pertaining to colorism. I had to pull back. I had to pull back. I had to burn the cape for the collective of dark skinned women because they was out here doing me wrong, and I had to focus on myself and other like minded dark skinned women instead of trying to save everybody or put so much energy into saving everybody because I was sacrificing myself. Yeah, Wakandan warrior syndrome. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we'll just start calling them Wakandan warriors. That's so true. Then I've used that term before. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But yeah, yeah. And black women, if we're not careful, that Wakandan warrior social justice energy, it will take over. It will take over. And I think that's slowly happening with Candace. And it's almost like she doesn't know who she is. She talks a lot about women needing to be more traditional and focus on being wives and mothers. But is that what Candace is doing? No. That's not what she's doing. She's focusing on politics. She's focusing on her career. And baby girl works a lot. She worked more than me. She's planning to run for office. She's always trolling on the internet. And I know she got people working for her, but I'm just saying she does a lot. She's pregnant, filming a documentary, running up on people at their houses. What part of being a traditional wife and mother is this, Candace? Candy, where are your kids? Where are they at? You know? And like I said, she makes a lot of good points. I absolutely agree with her saying that we're considered stupid to Democrats and they purposely put up, the worst of black people to be our representatives. She's absolutely right about Cardi B, what she said about Cardi B. I did a video on that. Um, she's right about that ridiculous no vote, no fucking commercial. I hate that fucking commercial. Just like I hated the stripper pole commercial. What was it? Dancing to the pole, stripping to the pole, something like that. I forget. Yeah, I hate all of that stuff. So I actually agree with her on that. It's embarrassing. So we agree on a lot of stuff actually, and I'm actually cool with black women being conservative. I lean to the right myself, but you don't have to do this, Candy. You don't. And I listened to her responses, both of them on her channel. I listened to Kanye's interview to the backlash to these shirts. And in certain parts, they're both making a lot of sense. With some things that they say, but because they do it in a very performative way, in a very pandering way, it's like anything they say that makes sense, it kind of gets lost in the sauce. And that's the unfortunate part because they're really honestly, to be honest with you, even though it's a lot of coonery with them, they still make a lot more sense than many of, if not most of black liberals. I'm just being honest. Like when it comes to some of the things that they say, I'm like, yeah, that's actually true. So it's unfortunate that it's all of this extra stuff where the message, it covers the message, and it gets lost. The message gets lost in all of this, the spectacle, the message gets lost in the spectacle. And it's like, Candy, if you come out here wearing White Lives Matter shirts, you're going to lose the ear of liberal black people. It'll be impossible to convert them after that. Sorry, not sorry. Chrissy, are you a Republican? Thanks for your super chat. No, no. I don't completely identify with either political party. I'm somewhere in the middle. I am right leaning though. I am. But no, I don't consider myself Republican. Cause this is Candy Girl. Her name is Candy. I'll start calling her Candy, okay? And so yeah, it'll be impossible. And this is where I want to touch on how this relates to optics. Because like I said in the title, I'm gonna touch more on optics. This is what I try to tell y'all when I talk about imagery, right? And certain things that get lost in the sauce, right? The Woman King and Black Panther. I know y'all hate when I bring this up, right? And I know it seems unrelated, but I am specifically talking about how optics and perception works using these two examples. The t-shirts and the Woman King, Black Panther, and how Black women are represented. So just follow me here. I know that it seems unrelated, but I need you to follow me, please. Okay? In every public scenario, whether it's spectacles like what Kanye and Candace did with the t-shirt, or representation in the media, or even when you meet someone on the street, whatever is being presented and how it's perceived is extremely important. That is the main thing that matters. And I know it shouldn't because it's very surface level, but it's the main thing that matters. How is it perceived on the surface? And what are people's first impressions? Laura J says it's kind of weird. She is Kanye's BFF after she called him a prostitute. LOL shady. Candace will latch on to anybody who's going to give her some clout. That's what y'all don't understand about Candace. She's very individualistic. She's going to latch on to whoever can get her some clout and make her some money. She don't care about Kanye. Kanye's not her friend. So just be clear about that. Thema says she's not attempting to convert. I don't think Republicans take her seriously. I don't either. Yeah. And see, that's why I said, like, she's getting paid, but I don't feel like she's getting paid enough to make herself look this bad and to make these many spectacles. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said she's doing too much, because it ain't worth it, Candy. It's not worth it. You're not getting that much for this. I don't know. Do y'all think they're going to put her in office? I don't know. I don't think so. I could be wrong. But, it's about first impressions. It's about lasting impressions. Black women saw the Woman King, right? And when you Google the Woman King, for me, this is the first image that came up. This one right here. When you Google the Woman King, this is the perception. This is the main perception of the Woman King. Plus, it's in the title, right? The Woman King. Black women, you saw the Woman King. You caught all of the nuances. You saw several different archetypes of Black women. You felt, in your mind, it was like, oh, wow, I saw all these different archetypes of Black women. So that means it was fair and balanced, and it was very layered representation, right? That's what y'all took away from the film. But guess what mostly everyone else sees? Everyone else sees this picture on the left, for the most part. This is what they see. They just see you once again as the strong Black woman. And this is why, I don't mean to be minimalistic and minimize things and make it black or white. I focus on what people are going to take away from it the most. I got the nuance in the film too. But what I'm trying to tell you is that first impressions is what matters the most. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. The lasting image of Woman King is this main picture of Viola Davis mean mugging the camera with her sword, ready to fight. The lasting image of the women in Black Panther is the picture of the Dora Milaje scolding in the camera with their armor on, holding their spears. So the warrior is the primary Black woman archetype in those movies. And that is the lasting impression, which has real world damaging consequences for Black women and girls, as I explained in my video about the Woman King. And that is what matters most, not your emotions after watching the film, not how you felt about all the different archetypes. So to tie it together, people don't care that some of what Kanye and Candace says makes sense. They don't care. Why? Because the shirt and their other anti-black antics are the lasting impression. And it holds the most weight. It holds the most impact. It has the most consequences. It overrides anything beneficial they have to say about black people. And it also overrides anything critical Kanye said about white people and white supremacy in the minds of white people, because they know. Because look, Kanye, when you listen to that interview, he actually said some of the things that the Hotep say. When he was on there saying the media and they, who do you think they're talking about? They're talking about white supremacy. And yeah, they use the language, oh, the liberals, and it's a liberal agenda, whatever. It's white supremacy. That is who they're talking about when they say they and the media and them, and they're trying to condition black people and I'll do this and do that. The bots, it's white supremacy. White people. But in the minds of white people, it overrides all of that. Because why? The optics of that shirt. It said white lives matter. All that other shit don't matter to white people. Because they know that the optics of those shirts benefit them the most. So all that noise in the background, what Kanye said about black people, it don't matter. That's how optics work, ladies. And if you're confused by the connection I just made, I encourage you to listen to the replay after this is over so you can hear what I just said again, because this concept about optics is very important for black women to understand. This is how a lot of y'all miss shit when it comes to your representation and your image. A lot of you just don't get how marketing promotion works. But once you grasp it and you understand optics, you'll start seeing promotion and representation with a new set of eyes. If you don't already, because I know a lot of you here, you get it. You're wide awake to the bullshit. But most black women aren't there yet. And I saw that more than ever after The Woman King came out and black women were on such a high about it. You just thought it was the best representation ever. It's the lasting impression, the first impression and the lasting impression that matters. And the main takeaway of the movie won't benefit you in the long run. Just like the main takeaway of these shirts is not going to benefit anybody. Thema says, now I want to hear people who disagree on the movie speak. Maybe we'll start doing call-ins again. I don't know. That shit just takes too long. Yeah. So, and this one comment, yeah, I'm glad I'm opening some of your eyes, like the eyes of some of you, because it's very important for you to understand. There was this one dumbass bird vester under the video I did about the Woman King. A lot of y'all was in y'all feelings about that. I don't care. I'm glad you got the message. But one of the ladies under there, she was like, well, other races don't see us like that. Only black men do. And you're just a mammy and you only care what black men think. And this idiot doesn't realize that the liberal media Kanye and Candace are talking about, giving these harmful images of black women and people more spotlight than they deserve, are liberal white men. They're liberal white men and white women. These are white people. This is white supremacy. They're purposely putting those in, like, and you get on here, you complain. Everybody, the divestors included, will get up here and complain. They. You're talking about white people. This is why what Candace does is so stupid. You know what I'm saying? They don't deserve all that, Candy. And of course, I'm with Candace on this. Black people create the imagery. If we didn't create it, they wouldn't have nothing to promote. That's where I feel her at. But white people are giving them the stage. They're giving them the platform. They're giving the worst black people a platform on purpose. So yes, sis, they do see you like that. They do see you like that. Get a fucking clue. Now, can individual black women get non-black men and find great non-black men to date and marry? Of course. And I encourage you to explore your options. I'm damn sure exploring mine. I'm not interested in dating another black man. Y'all know that. But let's not be in denial about what the white media is doing to perpetuate the tropes that we get on here and we complain about. Or, if you don't care, really be like Candace and don't care, because one thing about her, she's consistent. That's one thing I will say. She's pretty consistent. She don't flip-flop really. She don't flip-flop into, oh, white supremacy and they doing this and they doing that, and back into, the conservative SJW, like Kanye. Like he's a flip-flopper. He flips back and forth. Candace, no, she ain't on it. She's going full-blown coon. So at least she's consistent. People like her and Brandon Tatum, they're consistent. Yeah, consistently pursuing the bag. Exactly. Yeah, Kanye in his interview with Tucker Carlson, he said a lot of shit without saying it. It's almost like he was dog whistling. And I don't know if I want to give Kanye that much credit, but I'm like, was it really a dog whistle, Kanye? What do y'all think? Do y'all think it was a dog whistle, like white lives matter, like saying it like only white lives matter, or is that too much credit for Kanye? Because a lot of stuff that he said in that interview, I was like, sounding a little bit pro-black there. I don't know. Sounded like you're talking in a little bit of code there, Kanye. I don't know. Too much credit. Okay, too much credit. I thought so. But it's like when you listen to Candace and Kanye, you can tell they're not stupid. That's what I'm trying to say. You can tell they're not stupid. You can tell they know it's a system of white supremacy. You can tell they know, but they don't give context and all that. Which, like I said, it is what it is. Um, but what I will say is that the reason why it's like I care but I don't, and the reason why I don't care is because black men in the manosphere, they get up online every single day and do some of the same shit that Candace and Kanye did. They just are not wearing the shirt. But they get on here and they talk, they spew all this negative shit, specifically about black women, right? They spew all of this negative shit. They don't give context. Notice when any black man of the manosphere is talking about black women specifically and our plight and our issues, do they give any context? Do they say, well, black women, they're this way and that way because of the system of white supremacy? No, they just call you mean, bitter baby mamas. That's what they call black women. There's no context given at all. So when I hear people like Kanye and Candace do it, it's like, what are y'all mad at? Y'all do the same shit. They're just on the extreme end. And this is why it's not beneficial for black women to be pro-black. This is why I'll never get up here and give black men the benefit of the doubt and give all kind of context to their plight, because they don't give it to us. Yeah, pro-black equals pro-black man only. But people like Candace and Kanye, they want to do things for shock value instead of something that would really work. And it's unfortunate because, again, they say things that make sense. And liberals just aren't saying it. It's like it's like nobody, there's no representative that is like a happy medium. I'm not saying they aren't out there, but they don't get a lot of shine. They don't get a lot of shine. Either you're completely on the right cooning, or you're on the left not making any kind of sense whatsoever. No real solutions that make sense in practical reality. Because when you get all the way to the left, then you can't define anything. Then there's no standards at all for Black people. Nobody knows what feminine and masculine is. They want to destroy all oppressive systems, which in reality, that's just not going to happen. And they want to operate as if all oppressive systems are destroyed. It's just completely, it doesn't make sense over there. You can't do anything with the left. Really, you can't. When it comes to getting Black people together, what are you going to do? And all they can sit there and do is talk about reparations. So there's nobody with an actual solution. St. Hudson says Kanye didn't say anything that we haven't heard multiple times before. I agree. I agree. From Black men. A lot of these Black men online complaining about Kanye are just like Kanye. The only difference is they weren't wearing the shirt. Yeah, Anai says he discredited BLM knowing that it's about Black lives and not the organization. That's dangerous. Yeah, I agree. I said that earlier. I pretty much said that earlier. That's why I don't mind that Black women have a problem with it. But I explained that, we need to have the same energy when Black men come out and disparage Black women, or just don't show any real concern or compassion for our plight. That's all I'm saying. Kanye should have been canceled a long time ago. So that's all I have to say on that. Now I want to address. It's about to get messy, so if y'all don't want to hear it, that's fine. But I want to address some of the feedback. Let me share my screen here. I want to address some of the feedback I got on my last live stream about Danny Lay, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj. Y'all, it's just so interesting because anytime, and I told y'all this before, anytime I do videos on colorism and specifically talk about either light skinned women, non Black women, and Black men, or when I talk about white women, those videos get the most pushback. Y'all cannot handle it at all. At all. And you know what? My response to that is I'm just going to keep doubling down. I'm just going to keep coming back and beating a dead horse. I'm going to keep getting on your nerves. So, the quickest way to not get me to shut up about colorism and talk about whoever the perpetuators are is to keep complaining and responding to my videos. That is the quickest way not to get me to shut up. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to get on your nerves more than I did before. So I made a post and this is to the Barbs and the Barty gang. And I just feel, and I'm going to address the divestors too, because they have something to say too. And I feel like I need to address this because, like I told y'all before, anytime I hold these women accountable, Black people lose it. And what's interesting to me is I can criticize dark-skinned women down, honey. I'm talking about I can go in on dark-skinned women. Nobody says anything. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed that anytime I have any criticism for dark-skinned women, nobody says anything? Have y'all noticed that? But the minute I give commentary on Black men, light-skinned women, or non-Black women, here comes the tears and here comes all the capes flying in the wind. So I made this post to Nicki and Cardi's following. But because I know that some of you don't see community posts, I just want to reiterate it here in the video. Like I said here, I have no problem with celebrities clapping back at Black woman bloggers who disrespect them and their families. I understand that Nicki and Cardi get attacked. They have a right to defend themselves. I'm not saying that they don't. But when they respond to the criticism from Black women with colorism, or they like colorist tweets and comments from their fans, that means they're colorist. It's not debatable, and they don't get a pass for that. They don't get a pass for that just because they are defending themselves. And some of y'all wonder, they're like, oh, well, had your capes on. Well, they put on dark skinned women. They have songs with dark skinned women. They play what did that one girl say? They pay Black women's tuition for college. Right? St. Hudson, what are you talking about? You just did 2 dark skinned women. You talking about holding them accountable? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, so they go on and on. Oh, but they do this for Black women, they do that for Black women, as if they just doing so much, right? And like I said before, they work with dark skinned women to make money and to put on a facade of unity and sisterhood. It doesn't mean that they actually like y'all for real. And this is part of y'all drinking the Kool-Aid, right? These women tell it to the world. They show it in their actions. They say it in their music. They don't like you like that. So it would behoove you, Black women, to stop caping for them so hard on the internet, because they aren't benefiting you in any way. They aren't doing anything for your image. They definitely not cutting you a check. Most of you caping, you're not getting paid for none of this. And I mean, you're on the internet hours upon hours going back and forth on why nothing's wrong with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. You're not getting paid for it at all. This is ridiculous. And look, if you like their music and you just have to listen to it, fine. I listen to some of the problematic, music out there. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I like some of the music too. But it's better that you listen to the music quietly, get it free if you can, hint, hint, and let these women fight their own battles when conflict arises. And I'm telling you this for your own good, Black women. Now, moving on to other feedback. So apparently, my last video also ruffled the feathers of some divestors. And it's very interesting because in that live stream, I actually mentioned them in passing. They got like one sentence in that live stream. And the divestors that got upset, ironically, I wasn't even referring to. That's the whole thing. I was referring to a completely different divestment channels with S's, that were sent to me because they had videos complaining about other colorist divestors. And so I mentioned in passing in one sentence in the last live stream that, yeah, y'all will downplay colorism, and then when you experience it, you get online and you make videos and you start sounding like Chrissy. And that's true. Where's the lie? You do. You do. I didn't make that up. You do. But it was for who it was for. Wasn't even for the divestors that got in their feelings about it. But I guess since Hit Dogs Holler, I gotta address y'all now too. I think it's really funny how some divestors can throw shots at my channel, can throw shots at other channels literally on a weekly basis. And I'm not exaggerating. On a weekly basis, they do this. They're obsessed with us. But I mention them once in a blue moon in one sentence during an hour-long live stream, and their panties get all in a bunch, and they start pretending like I talk about them all the time when they constantly throw shots at me. They constantly throw shots at my platform and other Black woman content creators on a regular basis. And it's just crazy to me how they seem to think they're the only ones that can throw shots at people. But like I told y'all before, as long as you bird vesters keep mentioning me, and I'm talking about multiple people when I say this, you know who you are. As long as you keep mentioning me, I'm going to keep mentioning y'all. So if you don't want me bringing up bird vesters, then bird vesters need to stop mentioning my channel and my content. Tell your divester friends to tell a friend to stop mentioning Chrissy if you don't want to be talked about on my channel. It's as simple as that. And if you're not willing to do that, because hey, you can talk about whoever you want to talk about. But if you're not willing to stop talking about me, you're going to keep getting addressed. And like I said a long time ago, listen to me closely. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to talk about who I want. Did you hear what I said? So, according to some of the bird vesters, my commentary on colorism is simply about wanting the Black man to prefer me and other dark skinned women. And it was also stated that I don't address colorist Black men who are the source of colorism. But instead, I take my misdirected anger out on light skinned women and non Black women like Cardi and Nicki Minaj and Danny Lay, because that's who the last video was about. And I find that very interesting because there were also videos from divestors saying exactly what I said in the last video about Danny Lay. Yeah, divestors made videos too. And they also told Black women to burn the cape for these Black male preferences. So, according to Birdvestor logic, I guess those divestors who also made videos are also misdirecting their anger on light skinned women and non Black women. And they just want Black men to prefer them as well. According to the logic, right? Would that not be accurate? Would that not be accurate? And again, you never take issue when I call out dark skinned Black women. You never take issue when I call out dark skinned Black women on our internalized colorism. But as soon as colorist light skinned women or non Black women are held accountable, here comes the complaints. A lot of you are telling on yourself. You're telling on yourselves through your actions, and your actions are very similar to colorist Black men. It's cool for me to call out dark skinned women for being anti dark skinned woman. But suddenly y'all get all sensitive and upset when I do the same thing with light skinned and non Black women. You want me to coddle them. That's the issue here. You want me to coddle them, just like Black men want to be coddled. You want me to coddle them. You want me to give them a pass like you're used to dark skinned Black women doing any other time in this so called community. And sorry, not sorry, but I've never done that on my channel and never will. You can gaslight me. You can call me jealous. You can call me insecure. You can say that I need therapy. But everybody gets it on this channel, including your precious light skins. And to the point about me supposedly not going to the source and addressing Black men, we know that's a lie because I address colorist Black men on this channel all the time. I addressed them in the last live stream. I have several videos addressing colorist Black men, which is why Black men can't stand this channel. So at this point, these bird vesters are literally just making things up so they can have an argument and getting mad for nothing. And let me tell you what I think the real issue is. The problem is not that I don't go to the source and hold Black women or Black men accountable. The issue is that you're colorist. Can we just be honest here? I mean, can we just tell the truth? Because who in their right mind would be mad when I tell dark skinned women to stop elevating women who don't like you above yourselves? You got to ask yourself, why is that a problem for women who say they want Black women to walk away from whoever and whatever no longer serves them? Why is this a problem to women who say they want Black women to stop caping for people who don't reciprocate? Because those people, that includes these women. That includes colorist, light skinned, and non black women who are still deeply invested in these nakers. The divestors created channels to complain about. Aren't these mammies according to y'all? Aren't these mammies according to y'all? So what is the problem with me telling black women, hey, they don't like you. You might want to burn the cape. What is the problem with that? The only logical conclusion I can come to is that you're colorist. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? And we already talked about how many of these divestors are colorists. There's a lot of colorism that goes on in that space. There are actual colorist light skinned women. Some are hiding behind dark skinned black woman avatars. That's how bad it is. And their dark skinned flunkies and attack dogs are just too dumb to notice it because they play nice with them and they give them compliments the same way these fraudulent black male colorists do. And this is why colorist light skinned women are able to infiltrate divested spaces, and they got to turn around and make videos about colorism sounding just like Chrissy. Even though y'all said colorism only happens in Blackistan, it doesn't happen in the divestment community, but it does. And it's not the first time I've heard dark skinned woman divestors on YouTube complaining about other divestors who are attacking them with colorist insults. And I don't know if it's because divestment women are such a small group, so it's not as apparent and y'all think it doesn't exist, but just like any other space for black women, the colorism is there. And it's going to become more evident as more black women divest. That's just the reality of the matter. And what a lot of divestors don't want to admit is that many of these colorist light skinned women are still colorist even when black men aren't around. But you don't want to admit it and you want to keep deflecting and making it about black men even when it's not. And when I think of the reason y'all do this, again, the only logical conclusion I can come to is that you're colorist or you're too afraid to call it out because you're protecting some sisterhood that does not exist. Because if it truly existed, you would have no issue with dark-skinned women calling out colorist light-skinned women when it's necessary. Especially if you're okay with calling out dark-skinned women for something every single week. Like, none of this is making sense. Just admit you're colorist or admit that you're too afraid to call out colorist light-skinned women and mixed women and go. Some of us over here, we're not afraid to tell the whole damn truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, you can feel indifferent to colorism. You can focus on more important topics like black femicide. That's completely fine. I'm not expecting every black woman to care about colorism like I do. But just because you don't, it doesn't mean that platforms like mine that tackle colorism doesn't mean we're any less valuable. It also doesn't mean we're childish or we still want black men just because we refuse to cape for colorist non-black women. It's actually you that's childish and needs to grow up and get black dick off the brain if your thinking is that damn basic after listening to my last live stream. That last live was about black women caping for colorist women. And yes, we know why they are colorist and think they're superior, but not addressing them specifically and only addressing black men is not all that's required to get black women to burn the cape. Just like y'all address both black women and black women or black women and black men when it comes to perpetuating everything, all the bullshit that was started by black men, just like it's a community effort and both genders are involved, we're allowed to talk about it over here with colorism. We're allowed to address the women too and how the women play their part in it too. These women are not above reproach. Get over it. Oh, thank you, Jack, for the generous super chat. Hey, Chrissy, did you see the first Black woman to become a Big Brother winner? She was attacked and ridiculed by the other contestants, but she never blew up at them and remained feminine. She ended up winning the show and also Americans' favorite contestant. No, I don't watch Big Brother. And I said that before on another live. Maybe I'll go back and watch it, but I don't watch those kind of shows. Does Big Brother have a lot of episodes? Because I don't know if I'll watch the whole thing. Maybe y'all can send me the episodes I need to watch. Um, but thank you for the super chat. But yeah, so y'all just need to get over it. Y'all need to get over it. And to the statement that was made about me saying that my colorism commentary is all about wanting Black men to prefer dark-skinned women, you can have a right to your opinion. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm not going to try to change your mind. But let me give my opinion on what I think most of your channels are really about, divestors. And look, I know a lot of divested women follow me, and this doesn't apply to all of you. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I'm not talking about all of you, just those who it applies to. Okay? I think most of you divestors here on YouTube are here, one, so that you can pick fights with other Black women content creators who have bigger followings than you. Okay? Because if you didn't, you wouldn't talk about us every week. Okay? Because you talk about us every week. You're obsessed. Okay? So that's one of the reasons you're on here. You want to talk about what we do and what we don't do on our channels. And most of all, you're trying to trigger Black men and get their attention, which is why you make time to talk about Black men every week. This is why you make time to argue with them every week on your channel. And you damn near release this weird mix of anger and, I don't know, orgasmic energy when they call into your panel. It's really, really weird what happens in some of these spaces. And if you notice, when the Black men call, that's also when the most engagement happens in the chat. The Black women get real excited. It's like I said, it's a weird mix of anger and orgasmic energy. Oh, a nigger is here. Let's go. Let's jump on him. Let's go, ladies. But you're divested. You're divested. Thought you were divested. Right. So let's keep it a buck. Some of y'all channels are nothing like Leah or Paris. Shout out to those ladies, where the actual focus is on Black femicide victims. It's not actually out of any genuine concern or awareness. What y'all do, y'all throw in these news clips for good measure, try to manipulate your followers into thinking that you care. But it's not really about that. What your platforms are really about is to use Black femicide to mask the true intentions of your channel, which is to let off steam and any anger you have for Black men. I don't know if it's your Uncle Chester, your baby daddy, whoever, but the purpose is to attract those men who are just like the Dusties who hurt you, to your channels so they can get mad and argue with you because you get off on it. That's why. And it's crazy because they're always hollering about who's a mammy and who's a mammy. But they really think people can't see that they're still deeply invested in Black men and everything that they do. You're not fooling me. And you're not fooling a lot of other people. I know real divested women, they don't put a fraction. They don't put a fraction of the time and energy that y'all do when it comes to Black men. They just don't behave like y'all in any way. And some of us can see the difference. I told y'all before, my sister is divested. I would consider her the real definition of divested. And these women like to throw up, oh, well, that's why Chrissy doesn't get along with her sister. I don't get along with my sister because she's a disrespectful bitch. That's why I don't get along with my sister. And it's so funny to hear them bring up my sister. My sister wouldn't even like them. My sister wouldn't even like y'all. Y'all don't have nothing in common. She don't do what y'all do every week. She don't talk about Black men. She don't care because she's divested. So most of you bird vestors on here, you're not in the least bit divested, nor are you helping Black women or most of your followers out of Blackistan. You are Blackistan, like I said before. You're just like the mammies and nakers you complain about. The only difference is you're not fucking Black men. So you say. Because I question that with some of you as well. But what I said in the last live stream was who it was for. But if other divestors want to jump in and fight their battles when it don't have nothing to do with you, y'all can get some too. Like I said, until y'all keep my name out of your mouth, until you keep my channel out of your mouth, I'm going to keep mentioning you. So get used to it, because for the millionth time, you don't run shit over here. And I'm sure y'all bird brains will go back to your channels and react to everything I just said, then sit up there and lie and say you don't watch my channel when you're here right now. We don't believe you. You're here. You stay in attendance over here. I call your name. You might as well just say present in the chat, because bitch, you're here. You probably got your notification bell on, which is why you heard and overreacted to a single sentence I said that wasn't even about you in an hour-long live stream. So since I know y'all listening and you a fan and you been a fan, until next time. Okay, that's all. And I'm going to, like I said, if I keep getting mentioned, I'm going to keep addressing them. I know y'all don't like the mess, which is why I kept it to the end of the video. And that's what I'll start doing, because, you know, when I let stuff build up, that's when I come on here and go off. And I don't want to do that. I know y'all don't like messiness. I know you don't like beef. But if I have something on my chest, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So you can just skip this part if you don't like it. Okay? Present. So like I said, present, bitch, because I know you here. They about to make videos right now because they're here listening. And then they gonna say, oh, I don't even watch Christy channel. Bullshit, you're here. Present. All right, y'all, I gotta go. It's been an hour. Catch the replay. This will stay up. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all of the donations, the super chats. I appreciate all of you, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye.